Good morning. I'm not as well adjusted as usual this morning. That happens to all of us. Yeah, I got it. Good morning and welcome to the weekly multi-platform service of Tri-County Unitarian Universalists based in Summerfield, Florida. We acknowledge that we occupy the ancestral, traditional, and contemporary lands of the indigenous Florida peoples. I am Pat Felton, today's service leader, and we're glad to have our minister, the Reverend Kristina Spaude, leading worship today. Hello to our members and friends, and a special welcome to those who might be visiting here for the first time. Unitarian Universalists are united not by a creed of shared beliefs, but by a covenant of shared values. We celebrate that we do not need to think alike to love alike. It is our respect and encouragement of each other's diversity of thought that truly binds us together. For the curious and for the seekers, Unitarian Universalist values and covenant may be found on our order of service and at our website, triuu.org. Our newsletter, included in the timetable, can also be found there under News and Events. We have announcements, but please first mute your phone or place it in airplane mode. Thank you. In honor of Earth Day, there will be a rally for clean air, clean water, and science-based policies that address our environmental crisis and threaten all of our children's future. On Saturday, April 25th, from 9 to 10:30, we will line the streets on both sides of 441 and both sides of Morris in Spanish Springs in the villages. Bring signs and pictures of children that are important to you. A few flyers are on the back table if you need one, and Peggy Roberts is coordinating this activity. On Wednesday, April 22nd at 1, CPR training will be offered here at Tri-UU. Renewal of American Heart Association certification is $25. For others, a small donation for the instructor is requested. Join us to learn how to save your partner, friend, family member, or even a stranger in the mall or at the grocery store. You can sign up on the table behind AV. Are you new to Unitarian Universalism? New to UU, Tri-County Unitarian Universalists, or simply curious about what makes this community tick? Join the Reverend Kristina Spaude and Helene on Thursday, April 28 at 10 a.m. right here for our next New to UU class, a friendly, informative gathering designed for seekers, explorers, and anyone who wants to understand how we do UU here at Tri-UU. There is a sign-up sheet by the bookshelves in the back of the room. This concludes our announcements, and as we now begin the service proper, we will recite our vision statement. Please join with your voice as we recite together. We will be an influential voice for progressive religious values in a diverse community. Our chalice keeper today is Corinne Gooden. And I do not see her. So Reverend Spaude will give us a chalice keeper opening, and I will light the chalice. We invite those of you joining us on Zoom to light your chalice at home.
These words from Christine Robinson. We gather this hour as people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning in celebration of the life we share together. Our opening words this morning come from Kim Mason. This is a holy alchemy. Once upon a time, chemists believed they could transform lead into gold or death into life. We laugh, but are we not also in the business of alchemy? Turning loneliness into connection, pain into comfort, anger into solidarity, faith into action. The subtle magic of church combines love with justice, creates hope out of fear, transforms individuals into community. Here we engage in a holy alchemy, finding beauty in the ordinary and life in the present. Come, let us be transformed together. Come, let us worship together. If you would please rise and lift your voice in song with me for our opening hymn, We Are Climbing Jacob's Ladder. Our story this morning is We Are the Builders, written by Deepa Iyer and illustrated by Ramina Galata. The pieces of the story that you hear will probably sound familiar to you as I addressed some of them once in the service last year. There's no quiz, I promise. Welcome to our community day. Ready to find your role to play? My name is Ramla. I'm your guide. Follow me and stay by my side. So many grown-ups and kids are here. Everyone wants to volunteer. There's plenty to do in our town. Help new friends, plant trees in the ground. The time is now. Let's all play a part. Listen and learn. What moves your heart? We are the builders. We form and forge, construct and fix, improve homes with nails and bricks. See those old desks, tables, and chairs? Good as new with some repairs. Who wants to join the builders? We are the caregivers. We comfort, console, soothe, and cheer. care kits for all, near and dear, acts of service and words that mend. How can I help, my new friend? Who wants to join the caregivers? We are the frontline responders. We plan and protect. Stay prepared. Storms brewing, but don't be scared. Stock cans of soup, bags of fresh fruit. Gather warm coats, gloves, and boots. Who wants to join the frontline responders? We are the disruptors. We declare, demand, demonstrate. Call for change. Don't hesitate. Raise our voices, banners and beats. Meet and march out in the streets. Who wants to join the disruptors? We are the experimenters. We scan, invent, and improvise. Solve hard problems with fresh eyes. What if these used bottles and rags could become backpacks and bags? Who wants to join the experimenters? We are the visionaries. We dream, imagine, and inspire a world we all can admire. Fresh air, water, safe and free, bright futures, that's what we see. Who wants to join the visionaries? We are the weavers. We stitch, we braid, we intertwine. Common threads link hearts and minds. When people fight or disagree, find what connects you and me. Who wants to join the weavers? We are the healers. We renew, restore, and relieve. Tend to those who cry and grieve. Sometimes, when the world is too much, we nurture with breath and touch. Who wants to join the healers? We are the storytellers. We sing, we dance, we create art. Bring joy and love, heart to heart. Vibrant murals preserve our past, histories cherished at last. Who wants to join the storytellers? Of the different roles to play, which one feels like you today? You could become a guide like me, show new folks what they can be. We mentor, we advise, we steer, share wisdom, honest and clear. Now that it's clear what we can each do, we want to hear from all of you. What role would you choose? Who would you be? How will you change your community? And hold on to those thoughts. We've got something for you to do during coffee hour, which I'll share later. Now, as we move deeper into our service, let us turn inward to consider transitions, the joys, sorrows, and concerns that we all experience in our life's journeys. Before we get to our ritual, I have a few things to share. First, that Doris Palett was admitted to hospice care on Thursday. Yesterday, she was in the actively dying phase, and if she hasn't passed yet this morning, it will not be long. Second, today is Non-Binary Parents' Day, the equivalent of Mother's and Father's Day. For any of you who may be a non-binary parent, celebrate your day. And last, you will probably hear lots more about this, but Aaron did become officially a grandfather. Running the whole gamut of joys, concerns, and sorrows today. As it is in life, right? All right, there are 3 bowls of stones of different colors representing the gratitude of joy, the grief of sorrow, and whatever feeling you're having related to your concerns. After those present have placed stones in the water, our ushers will place stones in the water from each of the bowls on behalf of those who are not present in the building and those who have chosen not to or who are unable to come forward. Those online are invited to type into the chat to express what is in your heart. When all the stones have been mingled in the water, we will take a moment for silent meditation or prayer. You may now come forward. Bless you. Let us take a moment to reflect on our own joys, concerns, sorrows, and those of others in this beloved community. The chimes will bring us back into this space, and we will sing our response this month, Voice Still and Small.
We will now receive our offering. If you're visiting us for the first time, please do not feel obligated to give. You are our guest, and we are happy to have you with us today. This is the time in our service when those who wish to make some monetary contribution to our congregation's vision and mission give to support this community and its outreach. If you are putting cash in the basket that you want credited to your pledge, please put the cash in a manila envelope with your name on the front. Envelopes are available on the table at the back of the sanctuary. I invite the ushers to come forward.
Our reading today comes from Layla Ibrahim. This is Messy and Imperfect Beloved Community. She writes, I've been going to the same church for a very long time. For nearly 30 years, most Sundays I have walked through our beautiful redwood doors. In all those years, I have filled a variety of leadership positions, from owl teacher to board president, usher coordinator to stewardship co-chair. And in all those years, my congregation has had ample opportunity to disappoint me. I'm disappointed when people don't think my justice project is the one we should collectively work on. I'm disappointed when people want different music than I do. I'm disappointed that we don't all agree that our children's ministry is the most important priority in the church. I'm disappointed that people don't give enough time, talent, or treasure to the church as I do. I am disappointed. Well, you get the idea. In nearly 30 years of relationship, there have been lots of disappointments. 2 or 3 times over the years, I have been so disappointed that I seriously questioned remaining in my congregation. I have wondered if church is actually real. I have doubted its ability to provide the salvation of which we speak, lived, beloved community. On those occasions, I have thought, well, I can't say that, so screw it. I can just stop going to church for a while or forever. But staying away has never helped me through such times. Rather, coming in closer, telling people about my spiritual crisis, listening, sharing, caring, and worshiping have helped me know that this is where I belong, even when church is the source of my frustration and disappointment. Because we are not in church to be with people who want to sing the same music, or rally for the same cause, or attend the same retreats. We are in church to learn to love better. And learning to love better can only happen when we move past our disappointments and return to a place of acceptance and affirmation. This is true in our personal lives, in our work lives, and in our church lives. It is a deep spiritual practice. At my best as a religious person, as a Unitarian Universalist, as a member of this church, I am called to love whoever else walks through these doors. I don't need to like everyone. Not everyone who I would choose for a friend. Not everyone agrees about what we are here to do. But if I am living up to my best values, I offer care and respect and commitment to each member, friend, and guest of my beloved community. In the end, we can all try our best to live out our faith as Unitarian Universalists through study, conversation, service, and commitment. We forgive ourselves and forgive each other as we stumble through. We disagree, we annoy, we flake out on one another, and we worship, we support, we hold, and we affirm one another. There is really only one choice between imperfect community and no community. Again and again, we are all called to choose to commit ourselves to building a more just, more diverse, and yet ever messy and imperfect beloved community. It's a common misconception that communities happen when people gather, but that's just people coming together. Community is something we have to make, to build, to weave. One piece, one layer, one thread at a time, and all together. It can be made and unmade and remade with each person who leaves and enters, And if communities do not change their shape to meet the needs and interests of the people in the community as it changes over time, it is likely the community will stagnate and even die. Communities don't happen outside of relationship. Community requires more than transaction. It doesn't happen when we punch in and punch out. Communities, just like relationships, require attention and care. Community happens over time when we show up for one another, when we let people see us and we do the work to see them, and when we create together. If you want to be like Minneapolis, you have to do the work that Minneapolisans, not sure if that's the right word or not, but we're going to go with it, that Minneapolisans did long before this moment. Communities take all kinds of shapes, sizes, causes. Strong communities have good, healthy leaders, people from different backgrounds and with different skills, and people who are committed to making a shared mission and vision real. Communities are clear on their purpose, and everything they do serves that purpose. For about 5 years or so, I was deeply involved with my local time bank. Time banking is a way of rebuilding community. I say rebuilding because once upon a time, there were more opportunities and commitments to community building than we have today. Social changes like women working outside the home, building houses without porches, the rise of suburbia and workplaces being a distance from where you live, the creation of household appliances, and the decline of churches, third or public spaces have all factored into this. Also, the common social narrative of independence, being able to do everything yourself, has taken a toll on communities. Time banking is a system of exchange. At its most basic level, it is somewhat like bartering, trading skills or services with one another. You walk your neighbor's dog, they mow your lawn. But this doesn't have to be a one-to-one exchange. Maybe you like to walk dogs, but you're like me and you don't have a lawn to mow. But you've always had an interest in learning to play the guitar, and you've got another neighbor who offers lessons. So you earn a time credit for walking the dog and spend it on a guitar lesson, while another neighbor mows someone else's lawn to earn a time credit for you to walk their dog. At least two things are happening in this scenario. Everyone is getting their needs or wants met, and people are forming relationships, often with people they wouldn't have connected with before. All because they joined a time bank and are getting to know their neighbors. Our time bank hosted monthly potlucks where people could eat and also engage in time bank related activities. Things like throwing a ball of yarn to everyone in a circle, and they tried to answer one another's requests. Taking pictures to add to people's profiles on the software. A speed time banking exercise where people shared offers and requests with each other in 2 minutes and then switched partners. Celebrating people who did their first exchange or who went into the red because they were still engaging others in the time bank, which helped make it run, and other activities. The potlucks were a great way to get people together, to know others in a low-pressure setting geared toward beginning to form relationships that would help sustain the community. Other events we hosted were game nights, talent shows, and a concert. Sometimes someone would need a lot of help, like they needed to move, and someone would organize a group of people to get together for a few hours and do the project all at once. You can see how people have gone from random strangers to creating a community together. And from there, it can keep building. When I was moving from the area, the city was considering if they might be able to join the time bank and engage neighbors to help elders get their lawns mowed in the summer and sidewalks and drives shoveled in the winter. All of these different events could be successful because they were all low stakes. No one was asking for you to sign on to anything, theology, politics, whatever. We weren't electing you to be on the board or taking charge of some other group. We built community across difference. I hear the laments in the current chaos we call life and the world, wondering what more we could be doing to make it all better. I am telling you that being a place with a thriving community matters now and will matter as the political and social landscapes continue to shift and change. It comes down to the fact that we are always going to need each other, and people are going to need our congregations as we find our way. We want community to share a sense of belonging, to have a sense of comfort, a sense of familiarity, and this makes sense. But that's not all community is for. It's also for learning to struggle all our lives with each other. It's about learning to love bigger. A story I keep coming back to in my mind is from the Jewish scriptures of Jacob wrestling a man, a stranger, all night long. For hours they struggled, one against the other, but neither was able to get the upper hand enough to defeat their opponent. As the dawn comes, the stranger strikes Jacob in his hip, and still Jacob refuses to relent without receiving a blessing. This he is given along with a new name, Israel, meaning one who struggles with God. I've been turning the story over and over because, like so many stories from the Jewish and Christian scriptures, it feels incomplete and open to interpretation. Now, the context of this story is that Jacob has a twin brother, Esau. Esau is the older son and to whom everything is promised. The two brothers don't get along for a variety of reasons. Jacob was basically a con artist who, among other things, tricked their father and stole his brother's birthright to be his heir, and Esau vowed to kill him. The night before Jacob is to meet his brother after many years apart, and he is so scared about this that he has divided his property and his family. He had 2 wives and 2 maids, along with children with each. And he sends them away from him in case Esau made good on his vow. And that is the night that Jacob wrestles with God. And Jacob is blessed. Esau, who had brought an army of 400, greets Jacob and his family warmly and welcomes them to return home. It's a weird story, I will say that. We're inclined to focus on the end most of the time, the forgiveness and reconciliation that comes between the 2 brothers. But this is a mistake. The takeaway is actually in the middle, that wrestling that occurs. Even though he's afraid and worried and probably pretty tired, he wrestles with this stranger all night long, a testament to his commitment to his family and his hope, his willingness to work to set things right with his brother. The reward, the blessing, wasn't about winning, but because Jacob never gave up or gave in. He wrestled because that's what we do for the things that matter most. It was about being there even when we're scared or worried or tired or disappointed. We show up and fight for as long as it takes. Time banking is one tool we might use for building a beloved community. The social change now framework that we heard about in the story, We Are the Builders, is another, and congregations are a third. Any of these can work if we do the work. Our opening hymn was an African American spiritual. We UUs have rewritten some of the verses, which is a complex issue I'm not going to get into now. But what the original sort of gets to, and what our version definitely gets to, is an intersection of ideas. Every round goes higher, higher. If I stumble, will you help me? Though the road is steep and rugged, this is a story about wrestling with each other and God over time, over generations, supporting each other on the journey as we strive to make the beloved community and moving always, slowly, a little closer. We cannot struggle honestly toward the beloved community without everyone having a part, without helping each other through our disappointments and heartbreaks, without extending the kindness and generosity we hope for ourselves when we mess up, without understanding that we won't agree on everything all the time. Which means that sometimes we're going to have to figure out how to build bridges with people who may not think or who may think and love differently than we do. But with each rung, we are deepening our relationships with one another, moving from othering to belonging, moving a little closer to living the dream of beloved community. It will be messy and imperfect on our way there, but together we will make it holy and whole. If you would please rise and lift your voice with me for our closing hymn, Building a New Way.
Reverend Spaude will now read our chalice extinguishing message, which the hot flash fan has already extinguished.
Our closing words come from Michelle Collins. Changes abound around us, within us, between us, in our communities, our neighborhoods, and our beloved faith communities. Changes abound. May we each find the balance point we need as we move through our ever-changing world, the balance between the old and the new, between the known and the unknown, between the familiar and the perhaps bold and risky possibilities that may be there waiting.
Thank you. I invite anyone who has just begun to visit with us and who wishes to do so to introduce themselves. Please raise your hand and an usher will bring a microphone to you. Please keep the microphone close to your mouth so we can hear you better.
Hi, good morning. Hi, good morning. I'm Marianne Horn. I'm a member of the First Unitarian Church of Orlando, and I'm here today visiting, and I just wanted to say hello to you and thank you for being so gracious to my daughter, Cammie, who has been coming here. So good to be with you.
Thank you. Welcome. We're so glad to have you and Cammie with us. Anyone else? If you would like to receive regular communication on upcoming Tri-UU events, please take and fill out a guest card, which will be available at the door after the service. On April 28th, there will be a class for those wanting to know more about Tri-UU. Please sign up at the table in the back of the room. Okay. We are interested to hear how you experienced this hybrid worship service and/or what you took away from the sermon. For those who are on Zoom, raise your hand to speak or type your comment in the chat box. For those here in the gathering space, please raise your hand. If there is time, Reverend Kristina or I will call on you. Please share your name and keep the microphone close to your mouth so we can hear you better. Our Zoom friends miss your face. If you are willing, they would love to see you while you're talking. If you wish to be seen on the monitors and by those attending on Zoom, please stand directly in front of the pulpit. Please keep comments brief and on topic, and no announcements, please.
Hi, I'm Maria Kelly, and when you were reading We Are Builders, I was thinking about how fortunate this community is, because we have visionaries who are also dancers, who are also storytellers, and actually, I think every single one of us is a bunch of things. So, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Maria. Anyone else?
Joyce.
Joyce?
Thanks for that. It is a reminder of what a wonderful community we are. And Wednesday afternoon, we can enhance our support for each other by taking a CPR class. It's free here at Tri-UU at 1 o'clock. I have only 3 signed up, but we definitely need more supporters.
Thank you for
Thank
that
you,
not
Joyce.
announcement, Joyce.
Anyone else?
Cindy.
I was just struck, one of the things I actually bought We Are the Builders. We had talked about the book before. But the one thing you said today that I didn't really think about before was that community changes. That every time another person walks in the door, there has to be some kind of accommodation to sort of rebuild the community. And, in leadership, I think sometimes we forget that. The very fact that, it worked well last year, why can't we do it that way this year? So I thank you for that real insight today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy. Anybody else? I would like to add my own comment. I'm Pat Felton, and just this morning driving here, I was thinking, this is just such a miraculous, beloved community and situation to be in, because each and every one of us, as we walk in the door, even for the first time, we're all so woven into the tapestry that is Tri-UU that we all can, our shared threads, our individual threads can shine brightly. We can do small things, we can do big things, we can do things all the time, we can take a little bit of a rest. It just keeps ebbing and flowing with the needs of the community. And I was just so gratified this morning, just coming here, that I had this wonderful place to come in which I feel very woven into the whole tapestry. So I thank you all for that, and thank you for that wonderful sermon, Reverend Kristina.
Linda.
I mentioned this yesterday at Women to Women. When I was still practicing Judaism, I went in Virginia. I went to the synagogue, and a lot of people going in. The sermon was over. A lot of people left. That was it. Coming in here, you don't feel that way. You got greeters. You got people talk to you and welcome you and make you feel part of the community. It's very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Our closing words come from Barbara J. Peskin. Because of those who came before, we are. In spite of their failings, we believe. Because of and in spite of the horizons of their vision, we too dream. Let us go remembering to praise, to live in the moment, to love mightily, to bow to the mystery.
Thank you, Tom. Join us for coffee and fellowship in the back of the room until 11. If you want a bit more time to eat and more time to visit, there is a sign-up sheet on the table near the bookshelves to coordinate with each other who would like to go out for brunch. We share our minister with our sibling congregation in Eustis, where she will lead a second service. Reverend Kristina will be here until 10:20-ish. For those who'd like to talk to her, come say hi. The Zoom room will stay open for 20 minutes.
And before you get up and leave, I was going to say we thought it would be fun. I thought it would be fun. So I'm just going to take all the credit for it, especially if you hate it. On each of the tables, we've got big pieces of paper, markers, and space that designates which roles that table is supposed to be thinking about, and questions. So storytellers and weavers are at the back corner, caregivers and healers are at that middle table, and all the rest of the roles are on those first two tables. For anybody that would like to and thinks it would be fun, please go ahead and sit at the tables at whatever place where you feel like you're most called this morning, and think about how this congregation works through the lens of those roles. So how are we doing with being storytellers and weavers? If you want to answer questions related to that, you go to that table. If you want to answer questions about how this congregation is doing with storytellers and weavers, caregivers and healers will be at this table. So if you want to be thinking about those things, go ahead and answer those questions. We would love to hear what you think.